Imagine standing at the edge of a reservoir that's been around for decades, only to realize you can now see the bottom of it. That's Lake Mead, the lifeblood of the American Southwest, and it's a wake-up call for the entire region. This isn't just a dip in water levels. It's a full-blown crisis that's been decades in the making, and it's forcing us to confront some uncomfortable truths about how we've managed our most precious resource. What makes this so alarming is that we're not talking about a temporary drought here. We're talking about a system that's been pushed to the brink by a perfect storm of overuse, climate chaos, and political gridlock. Let me break this down for you. Lake Mead isn't just a reservoir. It's a symbol of human ambition. Built in the 1930s to power Las Vegas and irrigate the desert, it was once a marvel of engineering. But now, with water levels hitting their lowest point in nearly a century, it's a reminder that even our greatest achievements can crumble under the weight of mismanagement. Personally, I think this is a moment where we need to ask ourselves, how did we get here? And more importantly, what does it say about our relationship with nature? The Colorado River isn't just a water source. It's a lifeline for 40 million people, and its decline is a ticking time bomb for agriculture, cities, and ecosystems alike. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, overuse. For decades, the Colorado River has been treated like an endless faucet. States have built sprawling metropolises, irrigated vast deserts, and even exported water to other regions, all while the river's flow has been shrinking. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just about dry years. It's about a fundamental imbalance. The river's flow has dropped by 20% since the 20th century, and yet demand keeps rising. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a leaky hose while the tap is turned up to maximum. In my opinion, this is a classic case of short-term thinking. We've prioritized growth over sustainability, and now we're paying the price. Then there's the climate factor. The Colorado River's headwaters in the Rocky Mountains are experiencing record-breaking heat and drought. Snowpack, which used to be the river's natural reservoir, is disappearing faster than it can replenish. This past winter saw the worst snowpack on record, which sounds paradoxical, but it's actually a sign of the system's fragility. A detail I find fascinating is how even the worst snowpack can be a good thing in some contexts, except when the entire system is already broken. The lack of snowmelt means less water flowing downstream, and that's not just a problem for farmers. It's a problem for everyone who relies on this river's pulse. Federal officials are scrambling to act, but their solutions feel like band-aids on a bullet wound. The recent proposal to cut water allocations for lower basin states is a start, but it's not enough. What this really suggests is that we've been waiting too long to address the root causes. The Colorado River Compact, signed nearly a century ago, was based on outdated assumptions about water availability. Now, with climate change rewriting the rules, those old agreements are obsolete. If you take a step back and think about it, this crisis is a microcosm of the larger environmental reckoning we're facing globally. We've been extracting resources faster than they can regenerate, and now the planet is pushing back. And let's not forget the human cost. When Lake Mead's levels dropped so low last year, they exposed human remains, a haunting reminder of how deeply this crisis affects us all. It's not just about water. It's about lives, livelihoods, and the very fabric of communities. What makes this really interesting is how the crisis is forcing states to confront their dependencies. Arizona, Nevada, and California are now in a race against time to negotiate new water-sharing agreements. But with political tensions and competing interests, it's a minefield. One thing that immediately stands out is the lack of trust between these states. How can we expect them to collaborate when their priorities have always been at odds? Looking ahead, this isn't just about saving Lake Mead or Lake Powell. It's about reimagining how we live in the West. Do we continue to build cities in the desert? Or do we start thinking about conservation, efficiency, and even relocation? This raises a deeper question. Are we willing to change our way of life to protect the planet? Because right now, the Colorado River is telling us that business as usual is no longer an option. The next few years will determine whether we're proactive or reactive, and the difference between those choices might be the survival of an entire region.